Come up with the idea.
Gone down to college.
And all the neighbors would come.
The choreographer says, I need someone to walk through this. I have an idea.
He does guitar. Did he ever
Stuffed animals.
He would laugh when I would do Shakespeare or something.
Kind of got to that place.
We finished the scene.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. How do you begin? How do you begin? You know, there's a wonderful play, and the guy describes his bridge. He says, I wasn't born, I was come across. In the dusk of one septuagesima, a priest found an infant about 10 inches long, crammed into a poor box. The money had all been taken. Thinking that I had eaten the money, the priest turned me upside down and shook me, which encouraged me to live, I suppose, so I lived. Where did I begin? I began in Cambridge, Massachusetts. I was born there. My father was an architect. My mother was a very independent woman who was, when she met my father, was the right hand to the man who was running the second largest hospital in Boston. And she was dating a man named Sikorsky. And she met my father, who was a struggling architect. And they ended up getting married. And so I was raised in a family where I had two very intelligent, smart parents. My father was an architect. My mother was a very driven woman who loved to tell stories, so I used to hear a lot of stories, and took us to a lot of theater and a lot of music, symphony. And we were encouraged to really explore the creative side of ourselves, which I did. My father was, he was an architect, so that's artistic, right, to begin with. He's a designer. And he was also he loved to collect art, so I had a lot of art around me. I had a lot of stuff influencing me. I don't quite remember. I do remember it, I guess. There was an ottoman in the living room, and I'd stand on the ottoman, and my father would put on classical music. I'd stand there and I'd conduct the orchestra. I guess that's the earliest memory I have of that. I think I was always attracted to the arts, always. Although I was, I liked sports, and I liked hunting and fishing, and I was exposed to a lot of things as a child. And hindsight is a wonderful thing, and one of the things it confers, which is not a wonderful thing, it confers upon the human mind, is a linear interpretation. And so in that linear interpretation, the tendency is to go, oh yeah, well, there was an A, and there was a C, and there was a G, and there was a W. Well, when it's happening, and you don't know when something's beginning and when something's ending. There was no seminal moment. There was no, oh my God, and the heavens parted, and I went, yes. I think there are choices that are made along the way, when I was when I was in school, I would be, I'd want to be in the plays, and then but I also wanted to play basketball, and then when I was in my junior year, I guess, in high school, I went and got myself a job in a summer stock company, and as a spear carrier and an extra, and work on the sets and that sort of thing. I'm hard put to say, oh yes, there was this, bam.
So we're developing a meditation, and I really started to get in touch with the spirit world, my guides, if you will, and they said to me, if you will work with us and be a voice piece for the spirit world and change the consciousness of this planet, if you change we'll work with you to change the consciousness of this planet, to bring it up to the realization that there is no death, and to alleviate the fear of death, we will always work with you, we'll always take care of you. She made me a promise that if she can come back from the other side and let me know that she's okay, she would. It will change your life. That's it. I can't look at life ever the same again. I was like, aha, yep.
Well, I think the whole journey of anybody in life, whether it's whatever their career is, whatever they choose to do, it's a journey and a search and a journey of discovery and of learning. I happen to be in the world of storytelling, so You know, my first tools, if you will, were, besides reading, were acting. When I did Starsky and Hutch, I reached a point where I went, well, wait a minute, this is not fulfilling enough. I would like to do something more. So I ended up deciding I wanted to direct.
Well, a lot of that story is based on like.
I don't know. I guess that, you know, I turned around one day and I was making money at it. You know, many times I'd hear my father say, well, how much are they paying you? And then when I got into quitting jobs, they say, well, you're walking away from all that pay. Because I kept changing careers. I don't know. You know, my first paying job was I did under fives in soap operas in New York. I was tending bar or waiting on table, and I ended up going on these soap operas and doing what they called under fives. That meant you had under 5 lines. And then the unions showed up, Screen Actors Guild or AFTRA, and wanted to know if I was in the union. I avoided them the first 3 or 4 times. I went out the back door, but they finally got me. And so I guess that's, you know, somewhere in there. Someone was paying me to, you know. Well, you know, I think the whole journey of anybody in life, whether it's whatever their career is, whatever they choose to do, it's a journey and a search and a journey of discovery and of learning. You know, I happen to be in the world of storytelling, so, you know, my first tools, if you will, were, besides reading, were acting. When I did Starsky and Hutch, I reached a point where I went, well, wait a minute, this is not fulfilling enough. I would like to do something more. So I ended up deciding I wanted to direct. And then I ended up deciding, after I directed a bunch of films, I said, okay, I want to write. And then I decided I wanted to write not screenplays, but novels. Your journey, your life unfolds in front of you, and you take choices. You know that Robert Frost poem, Two Roads Diverged in a Wood? And you just keep making choices, and you're trying to make choices that best reflect your own search for who you are. The literal or linear appointment of dates and events are comforting to people in terms of wanting to say, okay, this happened, and this happened, and then this happened there, so that I can, oh, well, mine happened here, and then mine happened over here, and then it didn't happen till there. What I tell actors a lot of the time when I meet them, young actors that are starting out, I say, well, or directors, they say, well, how did you go about it? And what did you do? And what should I do? And a lot of times I find myself saying, you know, the discovery of your journey, of where you're going and how you're getting there, is your journey. It's partial reluctance and it's partial memory. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it. I don't spend a lot of time going back there and going, oh, this and that. I really don't. I find staying present is most important for me. And so when people ask questions like that, I go, well, was there a seminal moment? Was there a moment that I could point to? If there was, I can't remember it. Maybe that doesn't make for good material for your show, but that's my reality. I guess I don't function that way.